Welcome back to another episode of Back on Track. Today we will be talking about faithfulness. Saint Jose Maria Escrivá says, "To be faithful to God requires a constant battle, hand-to-hand combat, man to man, the old man against the man of God, in one small thing after another, without giving in." So just as Saint Jose Maria says, this is a constant battle. Being faithful to God is a constant battle that we face. It is a daily battle between the flesh and the spirit. So just imagine you've gone to a very good retreat, you've come back, or you've had this very profound spiritual experience, and you're doing so well with God. You're talking to Him daily, you're serving Him, you're serving the church, you're doing everything that you can to keep up this fire. But then, unfortunately, a few months down the road or a few years down the road, something comes, a turmoil comes in your life. Maybe it's a spiritual struggle, maybe it's a financial struggle, maybe it's a struggle with the family, or anything personal. And all of a sudden, you just leave God to the side because you feel maybe He's not with you, or maybe you feel that He's not doing His part. It could also be that you just find yourself going to Him because you want something from Him, or you are in a crisis, and so that's the only time you find yourself going to God. Is our relationship with God based merely on what He gives us, or because of our love for Him, our true love for Him? Being faithful to God all begins with true love. Only with love can we do the things that He's asked us to do. Can we only with true love can we have this desire to serve Him all the days of our life. In the Imitation of Christ, the voice of Christ says this way: "The brave lover stands firm in temptations and pays no heed to the crafty persuasions of the enemy. As I please Him in prosperity, so in adversity I am not displeasing to Him. The wise lover regards not so much the gift of him who loves as the love of him who gives. He regards the affection of the giver rather than the value of the gift, and sets his beloved above all gifts. The noble lover does not rest in the gift, but in me, who am above every gift." When our love for God precedes that love for those things that He gives us, or those blessings that He gives us, being faithful to Him becomes second nature. Whether we feel something or we don't feel something, our love for Him remains. Even through struggles, even through temptations and trials, we continue to serve the church and God. Because why? Because our love for God is much greater than the love we have for His blessings and for the gifts He gives us. But because we are human, in our lives, we will have that struggle where we struggle in faith. No matter how much we strongly desire to love God with all our hearts, our love will be tested. It could be a financial problem. It could be a personal struggle. It could be a family problem. It could be a feeling that God has abandoned you. During these times, God reminds us through James chapter 1, verses 12, "Blessed is anyone who endures temptation. Such a one has stood the test and will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love Him." Regardless of our struggle, there's one thing to always hold on, that is to God. Continue to be faithful to Him. Continue to hold on to Him. This will be your strength. The Word of God says in Romans chapter 12, verses 11 through 12, "Do not lag in zeal, be ardent in spirit, serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope, be patient in suffering, persevere in prayer." When we remain faithful to God in every circumstance of our life and continue to persevere in our faith, then we receive the strength and the courage we need to face any temptation in our life. Being faithful to God does not consist of doing everything so perfectly, so to the dot, but instead doing all that you can out of complete love for God. One way to receive this grace to love God with all that we can and to persevere in faith and to remain faithful to Him is by acknowledging His presence daily and reminding yourself of how He's been faithful to you. I leave you with this last quote by Saint Josemaria Escriva. It says, "And what is the secret of perseverance? Love. Fall in love and you will not leave Him." So today, I pray that each one of us receives this grace to fall in love with our God daily, that will give us that grace to persevere in faith and to always be faithful to Him until death. I hope that each and every one of you will join us next week for our Back on Track next week. Until then, be holy and be on fire.